Hi everyone, this is Nicole E. With Narcissistic Mental Abuse number 10. And I said in number 9 that we were going to discuss uh, taking care of your family. And I ended up venturing off into two other videos, or maybe three, uh, that aren't about the abuse. So I thought I would come back to this. So basically, when I say we're going to talk about taking care of your family, when you have children, doesn't matter what age they are, you need to be employed, okay? Even if you don't necessarily need all of the funds, um, your children need to be able to rely on you as a parent. They need to be able to, if they need something, to be able to get that from you if you have the money. And you also need to be able to support yourself in any way, shape, or form and uphold your own car and household if possible. So, when I talk about taking care of my children, yes, they're older children. They're one is of age and the other two are going to be of age this coming year. But that doesn't mean that they don't need their mother or that they don't need things, because they do. And when I married my husband, he said that he would take care of the bills and that we would work those things out in our marriage, and that wasn't working out too well because in the first instance it was Christmas time of 2017, I think. And I wanted to get the children just a few Christmas gifts. It didn't mean that I wanted to spend like $700 or anything, but I generally spend around, I'd say, $75 a piece on them. I make them a basket of things, and then I get them one nice present, or I give them a gift card, and that really isn't that much. With three children, that's not that much. It's about $150, but I probably could have done less than that. I probably could have just given them a $25 gift card and they would have been happy. But it was Christmas time, and he didn't even want to go shopping or anything. And so I'm sitting here wondering, how am I going to get Christmas gifts for my children? Um, and so we're sitting here at his house every day, and I'm like, I gotta go shopping. But every time I would want to go shopping, he's like, I want to go with you. Okay. Why can't I go to the store by myself? Am I a captive or something? So, um, that was one of the things, the Christmas presents. And another thing was, we had an agreement that my household would be taken care of, my responsibility, which was $350 a month for my half of the mortgage, and I was paying a portion of the household bills, which amounted to, after we sat down and figured all of my bills out, including the mortgage, was around $1,100 a month. Now, he did not have a mortgage, and I was more than willing to work a job to pay for that. And a job that you only make $10 an hour, it is possible to pay for that as long as you're working full time. So he could have had me working full time, or he could have paid for that out of his own expenses, which at first he had chosen to do. And he promised me that we were going to be sort of retired together and that I wasn't going to have to worry. But all of a sudden, after a few months, he started acting really strange, like I was taking advantage of him. I wasn't taking advantage of anybody. He offered that, in our marriage that we would work those things out. And he had plenty of income to be able to sustain that. Not that it makes much of a difference what someone's income is, okay? And he was, yes, he was paying the bills, but I also sacrificed moving 140 miles to go be with someone that made all of these cockamy ass promises that never seemed to happen, and then all of a sudden, after a few months, I need to sell my house. No, I just bought this house, and my children are living in this house, and I'm not putting my kids out on the street because you're an asshole. So I went out and got a job, and I started paying for the house. And in the time that I got the job and started paying for the house, all of a sudden he's starting all these little crazy arguments with me, following me around the house. I couldn't get any rest. I was in bed. He would wake me up. I was downstairs. He would stand outside of the door, cowering over the door because I would lock myself into a room because he was being verbally abusive towards me. And he would be basically sleep depriving me, and I couldn't even sleep. I was a wreck. And he'd be yelling at me and starting petty, I mean, just, I don't even know what the arguments were about. They were just petty arguments. I never heard such a thing before in my life. Basically, ended up going through several jobs, missed job interviews because I'm trying to get myself sorted out, and he's keeping me up, starting these arguments. And the worst thing is, he'd be like, well, my son this and my son that. And he would, like, one time he invites the son over to the house, and he had just gotten done, we had just got home, and he had just gotten done driving for like 2 hours from my house, and he's yelling at me and screaming at me and cussing at me the whole way home. And then all of a sudden, at 11:30 at night, I'm gonna invite my son over, and you're supposed to be mentally okay to do that visit after driving home, after being up all day, and by the way, you're a piece of crap and everything else. So this is the sort of thing that narcissists do, and what they basically do is they keep you interested in them, or they keep you focused on them and your sleep, your problems, your household, your family. They have absolutely no priority, and all of the promises that they made to you before you went to them to be with them, whatever they were, they don't mean a damn thing. And whatever pieces that you're trying to pick up and put back together to make sure that you keep your promises to your children and your family, they don't mean a damn thing. They don't mean nothing. And you have to completely exert all of your energy around this person's eggshells that they're throwing down on the floor while they're picking up their wedding ring off their finger and throwing it across the room and screaming at you and everything else. Over what? Because I know I didn't do anything wrong. And I certainly am not an argument starter. I hate arguing. I can't stand it. So the point is that now I'm a piece of crap because I've left. I'm a piece of crap because I can't handle living with someone that tries to make me do cartwheels, and I can't get any sleep. I can't get rest for work. I can't be productive at work, etc., etc., etc. And these are all games. So, I mean, no offense, but if I can't make my monthly mortgage payment one way or the other, I cannot stay with you. Why? Because you're an asshole. You just throw shit at me all the time. And I'm not going to sit here while someone's throwing shit at me all the time and not make my obligations. So I left. And I felt bad about leaving. And at first, when I left, I thought, wow, this sucks ass. I miss my husband. I love my husband. And I left. Because if I have to choose between a man and my children, it's sure and Sam Hell isn't going to be the man. I don't care what size of stuff you got in your pants. You ain't man. If you make a woman choose between yourself and her kids, you're not a man. Okay? You're not a man. So, um, make the right choices, ladies. You got to make the right choices. You pick your children. You do not pick your man. Your man is causing you problems. My children don't cause me any problems. Every once in a while I got to clean up after them. But that's part of being a parent, okay? And nothing that someone else says, no matter what, should be coming between yourself and your beautiful, lovely children. And you have to be their role model. They're looking up to you. They're looking for answers from you. And if you think that it's okay to allow your children to suffer because of a man, you got another thing coming. It's not. It's not okay. So don't allow your children to suffer. Always keep your promises. Do the best that you can. And always support your family. Regardless of what deals that you've made. And when I said to my daughter that she could pay half of the mortgage and I would pay the other half, I meant that. I meant that, and I'm not going to let her down. I don't care if she's gay. I don't care if she's crazy. I don't care. I'm not going to let her down. I'm going to work, and I'm going to pay half of the mortgage, just like I said I would, because I'm her mom. Okay? And it doesn't matter if I'm living here or not. I'm going to pay half of that mortgage because the house is in my name. Okay? And it's in her name. But what I'm trying to say here is that you shouldn't have to choose between yourself and your children and your spouse, okay? Your spouse shouldn't be making you choose one way or the other. You gotta get up, you gotta roll it off your back. And that this motherfucker seems to think that he can force you out of your home, force your kids onto the street, whatever he's trying to do, which is what mine did. Don't go for it. Just walk away. There's temp agencies all across America. Go to one. Okay? Don't be stupid. Don't wait for him to change. Don't wait for the person to come back to you that you thought he was, because he's not there. He never was there, and he's never going to be there. It was a lie. So this is Nicole E. signing out on Narcissistic Mental Abuse number 10. God bless you. Peace be with you. Walk away.